Again, spoiler alert. I'm gonna give a spoiler alert anytime that I feel it is necessary. Maybe there's a song for it. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! If you don't give one, I think you are a jerk. That's the new spoiler alert song. You can say spoiler alert, but I won't get it. I'm gonna need the song in A minor. Okay, I'm back, because I watched it all, and I learned some things. I guess I'm gonna first address the fact that the actual lighter that I was bitching about in the first movie, I was wrong about the lighter that I talked about in the previous video, where the lighter said, "To my darling Jennifer," and I was like, okay, what, the wording here? Like, come on, like, I don't believe that. Turns out that's actually from her real husband, her real husband. Now I'm just judging their relationship. Like, I stand by I would know this wasn't my husband, because I would be like, I would never be like, "To my darling." No, let's Shakespeare this up. Let's be real. That's what it sounds like. "To my dearest darling, Gwyneth." I don't know why I picked Gwyneth. Were there Gwyneths when Shakespeare was alive? I don't know. I'm just saying that is not how I would talk to my husband. Also, we do find out that she did not have her cell phone. He took her cell phone, stole it from her, tried wiping out her entire life. So I guess that makes a little more sense. But then I was like, what about the cloud? Now I'm like, okay, so I've decided I'm just going to get my mom to keep my password and email on her at all times, because if that ever happens, I'm gonna take pictures, I'm gonna be like, it's on the cloud. Get to my cloud. Get the Chelsea cloud. I mean, ultimately, maybe I should get my cloud information tattooed on me, but I thought that when I saw that, and then I was like, that's a bad idea, because there is more about a tattoo later on in the movie. So he convinces her that she is his wife by literally just showing a couple pictures, and I cannot tell you how photoshopped these photos are. I'm not a professional graphic designer or anything like that, but it would not take anyone with any brain to be like, you know what? Literally different face to different neck. The color difference is ridiculous. He just looks like he is superimposed as a happy guy in this photo, and it's just ridiculous. She believes him because of these photos and ends up going to his home, which he says is their home, even though it's in the wilderness. It's a mile away from any other human being. And that's if that human being even happens to be home. Her parents are dead, her cell phone is gone, he tells her she's quit her job, like, all these red flags. You should not go to his house that's in the wilderness. I feel like I would be like, you know what? I need to stay with this cop. I wouldn't even go home with anyone. Like, I would be like, I'm sorry, like, I don't have a memory. Why would I go home with some weird guy that I don't actually remember? So she decides that she's okay to go to his home, or their home. She has no idea. And she has no cell phone. And if she did, there'd be no cell phone signal and no Wi-Fi. Oh, this is spooky enough already. I'm not going to that home. Especially like when you remember he gave her flowers that said "get well soon." Like, I'm not going to your wilderness home. I'm not over the "get well soon" flowers. I would be like, I almost died. Where is my get well soon Lamborghini? Because that would be a little, I'm kidding, I'm so sorry. It gets even more ridiculous. Did I say ridiculous? It gets even more ridiculous when she wakes up in the middle of the night to someone burying something in their backyard, and he turns around and it's him. Then when she wakes up in the morning, it's a literal grave. It is the size, he didn't even try to cover it. It's like overturned dirt that is the size of a body, and she saw him doing it at nighttime. So many red flags, like just flag after flag after flag. It's just a little ridiculous. I think at this point she's getting a little scared and she's like, maybe I made a bad decision. And I'm like, girl, you think? Like, I can't even tell you how photoshopped these photos are. He forgot to Photoshop the back of his head in a mirror at one point. Come on, like, just hire a graphic designer or someone who knows what they're doing, someone who knows anything. If you're gonna do this elaborate scheme, like, at least put the work in. And now for the craziest part, the detective goes to the hospital and asks how the doctors knew it was her husband in the first place, and the nurse ends up saying, oh, it's because he showed them these Photoshop pictures and identified a tattoo in great detail that she had. I told you the tattoo thing was coming up. Okay, I guess I can't have my cloud information tattooed because he'd be like, she's got her cloud information tattooed on her. I guess we're married. I don't know. Is that what it takes these days? I don't know if it's the writing or if this is actually how hospitals work, but like, if someone's in that kind of a accident and they forget who they are, can we just please get doctors to require a little bit more? I'm not saying, I'm just saying. But ultimately, I think that's the writing. I could have made this movie so much better by not knowing the guy is bad the whole time. Like, then you could have all these things. He would have had time to plan out this elaborate scheme, get documentation of a fake wedding. And he's apparently known her for years and worked with her. It's like, come on, get your shit together. I think I've watched way too many Forensics Files. I'm that type of person that sits there with my smart food going, oh my god, why did he leave that spatter of blood? Finally, throughout the film, he starts to become terrible and his true colors shine through, and he gets mad at her for not having sex, which, red flag. It is the red flag on top of a cherry, on top of a sundae that's on a pretty crazy plate. Throw that sundae away, that is a red flag. We learn the real Russell says, my dearest Jennifer, and she says it back to him, my dearest Russell, and I'm just judging away. I don't know. I guess not everyone in their relationship just calls each other jerk. Hey, what are you doing, jerk? We're not that mean all the time. Sometimes we say nerd. What are you doing, nerd? What's up, nerd? I found the cop story a little bit weird. I don't know if I missed it, which I very well could have because I was so busy like making fun of the film, which I probably should have just shut up and watched it. But in the beginning, they show this cop has, I guess, a daughter, and he's crying over her, and they literally almost never mention it again. I don't know if that's me, and I missed it. I probably missed it. I'm probably terrible, and I'm so sorry. Like, hey, this character, this main guy right here, he's got feelings. But never mind that, an hour into the film. I also want to point out that I love how in psychological thrillers, the victim doesn't think to go along with this person who is like stalking them until like the end when they absolutely have to. I think that's like something like people should be alerted of in like grade 1. If someone's psycho and they steal you and they're obsessed with you, the first thing you should do is pretend to go along with it, make them happy. You really can bullshit a bullshitter. The ending is pretty anticlimactic, which makes sense because it's not the climax, it's the end. But I'm just saying, I don't even remember what happened in the end, which is probably where they actually brought up the cop again and what happened to his life. I think overall the best part of this movie is probably Brenda Song, just because I think she's really cool in it. She gets 2 blows to the head in this hour-and-a-half long movie, hour and 40 minutes, I'm not sure. She gets 2 blows to the head and breaks her foot to escape, and she's still fine. They're not minor blows to the head. Like, she's got huge concussion issues, a little bit of damage to the hippocampus. And then she duct tapes her foot once she breaks it to get loose from what he's tied her up to. That's pretty badass. I feel like at that point, if that was that guy, I'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna let you go. I'm feeling a little bit worried. I'm feeling a little bit insecure about my abilities to keep you down. She just takes all those hits and keeps rocking on because she's a survivor. She's a survivor, she's gonna make it. I forget the words. She's a survivor, she's gonna make it. She ain't gonna stop us, she gonna work harder. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you this movie's a complete waste of your time because then I would have to be admitting that I completely wasted my time. Watch it if you want, don't watch it if you don't want to, or watch this instead. Maybe it's more entertaining, that would be cool. I wouldn't be, you know, proud, but whatever. Watch it if you want, don't watch it, that's cool. I just find myself always talking to movies whenever I'm watching them, especially Netflix originals. I'm happy you're taking my money and making movies, but the only thing that really makes them amazing is talking back to them and being like, this would have been a better idea. Like, I could have done this. So, you know what? I'm gonna make videos about it where I talk back to Netflix originals and hope that they listen and make them completely different. I'm kidding, I'm fine. Please don't do anything to my services or make them more expensive.